Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to Doc on Doc and Lefty. I'm giving you one side from the perspective that you should be loving. So we're going to modify our saying a little bit. Lefty's off strumming his strings and singing his heart out. And he's really pretty good. If you ever get a chance to catch him, you ought to do that. What I'm going to talk about in the last segment is, again, the cops are in trouble down in Texas over a pool party. And, of course, there's already a call to fire the cops involved in this mess. There's already the race baiters down there marching, going no justice, no peace, all that stuff. Honest to goodness, right? Now, I can see, because when I first saw it was on MSNBC, one of those things I was flipping around channels. And I thought, well, wow, that's weird. I mean, this cop's shoving this poor girl's face into the dirt. Okay. And I'm thinking to myself, you probably shouldn't be shoving that girl's in the dirt. And he kept screaming, get down. I'm like, she's on the ground. That much more down she can get. So anyway, he showed her that she was incorrect and shoved her face into the dirt. And I'm like, well, this is just nuts. And then I thought, it is on MSNBC, so I'm betting it's been altered. That's honest to goodness, right? Because NBC were the people that altered that. Remember the trucks blew up, but they got hit? And they finally admitted, well, yeah, we set the truck on fire after it got hit. Yeah, those people. So, again, I get back to never trust those guys. Always read your own stuff. So I started thinking, well, there has to be the video out there. If you see the whole video, you understand exactly why that cop did that. This gal is refusing to follow orders and everything else. He's getting mad. He's trying to get everything under control. There is chaos and pandemonium going on. Now, I don't know if those kids had a right to be there or not. That isn't the issue at this point. The issue is this crowd was out of control just from what I saw. This gal was not following directions from a policeman. Imagine that. And he responded how he could. In the middle of getting this girl under control, and not that I agree with shoving her face in the dirt, don't get me wrong, but you have to do what you have to do when you're a cop. This guy comes running, and I'm thinking this girl's just a little girl. This guy comes running up out of nowhere. There is a definitive size difference between this teen, supposed teen, that comes running up, who looks like he's a linebacker for Texas A&M, all right, and this cop who easily is shorter than him by a foot, right? Just watch it. You're like, holy cow. And at the same time, as this cop is watching him, this is what this cop sees. He sees the kid running up doing this. Yeah, I'd be pulling my gun too. So he pulls his gun because it's not just one kid. It's two kids running up. Just one of them did this, right? So as the cop is pulling his gun, the kids are like, oh, hey, we don't want to mess with that. So they run off. Everybody's criticizing the cop for that. One, he pulled it out because he didn't know what was going on. Two, he put it back. This girl that he's trying to get under control gets to her feet. She's bigger than the cop. Honest to goodness. Now, he's bigger around, but that could be equipment. The cops have a tough job. And now they're facing teenagers running rampant in the street. We don't have laws that cover teenagers running rampant in the street. How do you deal with that? People always go, oh, they're just teenagers, acting like teenagers. Well, I'm going to tell you, Des Moines downtown had a heck of a time with teenagers for a long time. They'd beat people up. They'd destroy property, steal stuff, out of control. And it wasn't until finally the Des Moines mayor went, well, we're just going to have to start arresting them and put them in kiddie jail, that all that straightened up. I still wouldn't go downtown after dark. I mean, that's just idiocy. But the bottom line is it's a tough job. So we already have these people going at it. If you stop and you look at the entire sequence of events, you can see how things get progressively more and more out of control, because essentially what shows up is a cop car with two cops. And then a cop car with two more cops show up. So you have four cops and about 30 people that they have to get under control. And they're teenagers. And they're entitled. And they're like, well, I got a right to do this. And I got a right to do that. Fine. You might, until the cops show up. And then they say, listen, you need to go do this. You need to go do that, because they're trying to maintain the peace and quiet of the neighborhood, the safety of the citizens. That's what they're trying to do. Don't get me wrong. I get back to mashing this girl's face in the dirt. That stuck with me. There's not, I mean, once she's on the ground, there's not a reason to stuff her face in the dirt other than the fact that you're just sick and tired of her crap. Yeah, that's not very professional. But the bottom line is here they are trying to defend this neighborhood. If you listen to the people that live there, they're like, we're glad they showed up because this is really getting to be a problem. If you listen to the other people that were at that pool party, they're like, we didn't even know, we didn't invite them. We didn't know what was going on. They were, being real aggressive and assaultive and all this. Yeah, that's what you want your police force to do. You want them to show up and restore peace. And if these people that they're trying to restore peace for turn on them, then they're not going to show up. That's exactly what this crime wave is about. Which brings me to my next point. There's a crime wave that has hit the nation. I mean, shootings up 400%, double, triple, quadruple in some cases. All because of Boston, or where was that? That was Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore. So the bottom line is, if you give people space to loot, they're going to loot. They're also saying, well, we're going to go out and we're going to establish our rights. Well, what's funny is all the cities that have suffered this crime wave, which is significant, are all cities with very strict gun laws. There isn't a city on there from Texas, right? Well, I think Dallas. Isn't Dallas on that list? Dallas might be on that list, but they have some very restrictive gun laws. Go figure. We haven't had an increase in crime here. We have fairly liberal gun laws. And the bottom line is the people that are committing these crimes, they don't care about gun laws. They don't. If they cared, they wouldn't be committing the crimes, right? So the bottom line is having these restrictive gun laws, all that has done is made their citizens victims yet again. Because cops, despite their best intentions, do not prevent crime. What they do is they arrest the perpetrators after the crime and then provide statements during the trial, again, after the crime. So the bottom line is you can blame the Baltimore mayor for this crime wave. You can blame poverty. You can blame black versus white. You can blame a lot of stuff. But the reason that this crime wave exists is restrictive gun laws in the cities that are affected. That's just straightforward truth. We're going to wrap this one up. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, listening just to me for an entire hour. After I do one of these, Lefty always goes, I don't know how you sit there and talk for an entire hour. Just must be, well, if you're the president of Old Fat Manistan, sometimes you just have to do what you got to do. Again, I'm wearing my native garb. We'll be back next week. Lefty will be with me. Don't forget to check out Facebook, like our Facebook page. We're going to start doing a lot more with Twitter. We're going to start doing a lot more blogs on our website. We're actually hopefully going to be landing a couple new sponsors here in the next week or two. Stay tuned for all the exciting changes. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back next week.
Hi, I'm Representative Tom Shaw, and I love these guys. Both of them.
Love these guys. Get over here. Love both of them.